All right, we're gonna get started with head coach Jim Curtin. After his opening statement, we'll start with questions.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. It's been about 14 days since Red Bull game. Obviously, we had an international window, and now we'll play 3 games in 9 days in quick succession. I think everybody's seen by now the international window. I'll just say wasn't too kind to us injury-wise. Just to go through that quickly, because I'm sure it'll be the first questions. Ty Baribo picked up a hamstring. He will be available though, has trained well the last 2 days, which was surprising. So he feels good and ready to go and contribute. We also had Andre Blake, who picked up some real growing discomfort towards the end of his last game with Jamaica against Honduras. Some tightness and just really felt in pain when he was kicking balls at the end of the game, which is obviously a big part of the game for a goalkeeper. So that hurts. He's kind of day to day. We'll see how he feels tomorrow, but wasn't able to train today and got some treatment after getting in on a late flight last night. So those two are significant. Obviously, everybody saw the tackle that Danley took. I think by now on Twitter or various platforms, a tough tackle in a situation where on AstroTurf it's a little tricky with the ankle. He's obviously in pain. Came back on a flight. Has gotten treatment the last 2 days. Hasn't been able to train quite yet, but won't rule him out completely. But obviously those 3 guys hurt. But at the same time, it's got to be a next man up mentality because we play the best team in MLS this weekend. So in their building, possibility obviously of Messi maybe coming back. We have to prepare for that. Prepare for their best group. And again, it'll take a perfect performance on the road to bring back points to Philly.
Thanks, Jim. We can start with questions in the room.
You're not gonna just about it.
Oh, sorry.
Already.
I figured it would save you guys the 3 questions in a row about each one's health.
So if Danley can't go,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Look, again, I think we do have depth in midfield. Bueno comes off of a trip with Venezuela. Didn't get any minutes, but still good to get called in. Leon Flock's more than capable. You have Ali Bedoya. You have Quinn Sullivan, McGlynn. So you have enough guys and spots for the midfield. How we do it against a really strong team, still to be determined. Obviously, if Danley's back, that changes our plan a bit. If Andre's in goal, I think that changes our plan quite a bit as well. So a lot of variables moving here, Jonathan, and it's a day where it probably would have been better if we did this press conference tomorrow because I'd have more accurate info. Same thing with the broadcast call with Apple. I'm not going to be able to be as open just because we're still waiting on guys' fitness and to see where they're at. But we still have a strong group. We have some decisions to make, obviously. But we have guys that are certainly capable of jumping in and doing a great job for us.
You mentioned Messi's potential return.
Yeah.
When you get people talking, I'm sure some of them are Adidas because they know Kevin Sullivan too, and some of your other young guys who might also be involved if necessary. What do you say to them heading down there again about playing against Messi?
Yeah, I'm a Nike guy first and foremost. But I'm just kidding. So no, the brands aside. Look, Messi is the best player our game's ever had. And you have a young talent in Kevin Sullivan coming up that still has a heck of a lot of work to do for sure. But I think you've seen now flashes with the national team, flashes with Union 2, glimpses with the first team, training with us every day, and I think getting better. So you guys don't see that part of the development and how he's fitting in against, top players in our league. He trains with them each and every day. He'll be a guy that, will play a role. Will be on the trip with us this time around to Miami. And, again, whether he plays, whether he doesn't, depends on how the game state is and how the game goes. But to be there to experience all the things that go along with the atmosphere when Messi is on the field, I think that is part of development too, because there's levels and there's always a next level. So no matter how comfortable or good or talented you get, if Kevin goes on to dominate MLS, there's still a next step, and then a step after that, and then for the national team, and then for the World Cup, and then for the Champions League, and on and on and on. So the beauty of our game is it never stops. And a player like Messi has done it all, has accomplished everything there possibly is to do in our game. But the ultimate sign of a professional is he still wants to do more, So that is a burden that not many are willing to take. And that's probably the best compliment I can give Leo Messi, is that he still does it every day, and he wants to win everything that he does. And he does it in a pretty impressive professional manner as well. So we have a big test. Obviously, Kevin isn't quite going to get mentioned in the same breath as Messi yet. We still have a lot of work to do, but certainly development happens on the field, off the field, learning experiences, being on the road, being in an environment where, Alba, Busquets, and Messi are on the field, and seeing what that looks like, and possibly playing a role in the game. Also are big steps in development too.
With Cat, you said before that there is a plan that you guys have.
Yeah.
And I wonder what happens if that plan is ever in opposition with playoff spot. If he's in a position where he can make an impact in a game, that can make an impact in the playoff race, and that's ever in conflict with the plan you guys have. What wins out in that kind of situation?
You said the word win. You have to win first. Again, winning is priority number one. That is our ultimate goal. Again, every player is going to have a different path as well. So it's different for each guy. You saw a good group last night play and get a result, down in Carolina, and do a good job there. So now, Kevin's been with us after, we thought with the national team games that he got and the minutes that he got, he didn't need minutes this week. And rather than jump on another plane immediately, go down there with all the travel, we said, stay with us for this week and get more of that consistency that I've talked to you guys about, where it's been a little bit stop-start with Kev. They'll have 3 great days with us, and then, go with the national team or disappear to a Union 2 game, and then there's recovery, and they're not on the same schedule, and different things that happen. So it's been a good week for him. I think that, again, he wants to win too. We want to get ourselves in the playoffs. That is priority number one, and it always will be. Are there going to be learning moments for him along the way where he gets thrown out there to change a game, whether we're winning or losing? Yeah, that's going to happen, I think, down the stretch here. But those minutes, again, like I said from the start, are going to be earned. And again, it's earned in training. He's done a great job getting better and better each and every day in training. So it's hard, man. I keep talking about it, and we have conversations about different homegrowns or different American players on our team in the country, all over the place, and we talk every day just how hard it is to become an everyday starter, not just in our league, in any team. It's really, really challenging. So I know everybody wants everything immediately in the modern game, but he's making some really good strides behind the scenes. And when the moments are right to get minutes in big games, games of consequence, we'll still put him out there.
With the challenge you guys face this week, I don't think I'll offend anyone by saying that the first game is the hardest of these 3 on paper.
Sure.
I wonder how that and the way guys come back from international break maybe shapes the way you're looking at this kind of 3-game set. As you try and chase points. Yeah,
you have to have a plan in place. There's always, in our league, the beauty is that you can beat anybody on any given day. I think everybody recognizes that. I think you also have to recognize Miami is the best team, not only in our league this year, but maybe ever. So we still want to go down there and be brave. We want to try and get points. We have to recover quickly, go to New York as well, which is another tough conference game. And then a home game against a DC United team where, there's not quite must wins until mathematically they're must wins, but that's as close to a must win as possible. We have to win our home games, that's for sure. We've been a good road team, so we're going to have to steal some points on the road. So Things happen in games too. Miami is an incredibly well-coached team. Tata does an amazing job. They're organized. But like every team in our league, they're going to give up some chances too. You know, we have to be clinical and ruthless in our finishing. I think we had that against Red Bull. Could have been a little more clinical if I'm being critical at the end of the game. But we took our chances early, scored them, and then defended really well as a team. So that needs to be the same mindset, because you don't get many chances on the road, especially against the team as good as Miami. When we do get those chances, we have to finish them off.
Talking about some other young players, CJ.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him so far, and how do you
Yeah, CJ's been great. He's had a really good season. You guys see the bulk of it with Union 2, and the minutes that he gets there, he makes plays. He also, you know, will work tirelessly on that side of the diamond. And again, a guy that you guys don't get to see him train with the first group every day, but he's getting better and better. It's just it's a tough midfield to crack into. So again, whenever we talk about really good players, you also have to bring up the question, who do they displace? Because someone has to come out too. So competition is good. It's healthy. If you think back to how hard and how long it took McGlynn and Sullivan, Quinn Sullivan and Nathan Harriel to get in, you know, it's not an instant process. So busy, crowded midfield that he has to jump into, but he's really impressed and had a good season with Union 2. The level in the first team is greater, though. That's just the reality of the sport. And he's done a good job in training, and is a guy who I think the first team staff trusts more and more as the weeks go by. Still young, getting better, but he's done a really good job. He has a knack for showing up in the box. He has that really good early first time cross that with the way we want to play with two strikers, that leads to a lot of goals. And you've seen some good assists from him in the second team. So someone can queue up, someone clever on Twitter can queue up. He's probably got 5 or 6 of those balls, early crosses with the left foot that lead to tap ins in transition. So really happy with him. He's getting better and better, but still a long way to go.
When we the last met, we were halfway through the month of wait from Mauricio Pochettino to take the U.S.
Yeah.
job. Now that he's got it, excuse me, as I would think he'll make the rounds at some point, and you might want to stop by here and also talk with some of your former players. What would you tell them about sitting in that seat and what's in store for them?
Yeah, look, as I've gotten older and gone into coaching, I'm more fall in love with coaching styles than teams. But his Tottenham team was one of my favorites. The way they played with the ball, against the ball, combination of both. I thought that was an impressive group. I've read his book. I've learned from him. Ancelotti's my other favorite. Those are 2 of my favorites. So it's an incredible hire for the U.S. Yeah, it's a process that I'm sure was long and hard and you know happens because someone else loses their job, which is always difficult. But at the same time, a big hire, an ambitious hire, and I think everybody sees the magnitude of what 2026 is, and I think this shows a real change, a real ambition, and you know, Pochettino's a guy who brings his staff with him wherever he goes. That's well documented, and I'm sure there's going to be some new ideas that are injected within a group that is really good. And I do think we have a good talent pool, but other countries have great talent pools. So we have to also be realistic and understand that as well. So that's probably a discussion that's longer and for a different day.
And we'll switch over to Zoom. We have one more question for Joe Tanzi.
Hey Jim, how are you?
Hi, how you doing, Joe?
Daniel was left off the Hungary roster. How is he doing? Is that a concern for you guys?
No, glad you brought that up. It was a minor hamstring issue. It led to him having to come out of Red Bull. I was a little nervous at first, but he's been able to train in the recent days and look sharp and confident after, you know, we gave him about a week off. So, you know, is the sharpness exactly where it was, you know, before the injury? No, but he will be available for our game.
And then if Andre is unable to go, how does the goalkeeper hierarchy, how does it get set at this moment?
We'll see. I don't want to give Tata a head start on that one, because both goalkeepers have different qualities, strengths and weaknesses. So TBD. Let's hope Andre's ready.